there's different ways to control a football match, Josh. We've both touched on, as did Mike, the Manchester City thing where Liverpool don't have a lot of possession, but they do arguably control a game. Certainly without the ball, it never felt like they were under too much pressure. We've seen City against PSG this season. It was a bit of a mad game. City take the lead, but PSG come back and make it almost like a 30-minute game and just take it away from them a little bit. PSG that night dominate the football. You'd fancy Liverpool are going to have to suffer in certain parts of the game, but that case study in Manchester where they were able to go there, not even have 40% possession, but still look in full control. Virgil Canate, imperious best, people tracking back, people sitting in, plugging holes, all that. That feels like, having lived through that a couple of weeks ago, it might put them in good stead for this one.
Yeah, well, I think the two displays against Man City this season for Liverpool have been like proper European displays, personally, in like a knockout tournament, very, very Benitez almost, compared to what we used to see of late. Where you do get that lead, you establish a lead, you keep them at arm's length, you stay compact, you maybe sacrifice a bit of the ball, and although you're without the ball, you're still in control of the game because you're not really giving away clear-cut chances and like that. You just kind of see it out, and it's relatively easy. And over them 2 legs against City, we would have technically won that 4-0. Watching City against PSG, they did take a lead and they ended up collapsing in that, but the way in which they collapse, Liverpool wouldn't do that. Liverpool can soak pressure. City can't do that. So Liverpool have got the likes of Canate and Virgil behind the ball and all that. And so I think if we did take a lead, and I think this is the difference between the two sides. I think Liverpool are just defensively better, I think, than PSG. And I think that will play a part because both sides can attack. Both sides have got attacking threats on the left and the right hand through the middle. Individual sparks everywhere, creative midfielders. But I think as a unit, I think Liverpool are better at being, compact, keeping the opposition out. They're more accustomed to facing top individuals every week. I think Slot said recently, if you go to 17th in the Eredivisie, there's no one there that can play for Feyenoord or Ajax or whatever. If you go to 17th in the Premier League, you've got Matthias Cunha and that down there. So, I think Liverpool are just a bit more primed to go through here. I do think Liverpool will progress. I think Anfield's second leg will be huge as an advantage. But it's still one of them tricky ties that can go either way. But I do think that those positives around Manchester City, for me, as a European thing, that for me is how you'd have to perform in certain European games. So just to get over the line type thing and just to manage it and stuff. And we've seen Liverpool can do that.
Josh, just parking the football for 1 minute. You and I were both there in 2022 when the stuff kind of after the game in particular, certainly from my experience, was just unbelievable in terms of it left a massive, massive sour taste. I remember going on the free show a couple of days after getting back from Paris, and in my mind then, and I'm not saying I've changed my mind, to be honest, but time does alter things. I couldn't really see myself going to another European final on the back of what happened in Paris. It was such a horrible experience coming out of that ground. I had no problems getting in the ground. I was there early. I had no issue at all. But coming out and trying to get back to where we were based and about to get the coach home, it was a horrific experience, to be honest. And I've been and seen a lot of football matches and gone through, different cities and different countries and stuff, and I've never quite experienced the same kind of stuff that I experienced that night.
Yeah, and that's the thing, me and you are lucky ones, really, because, I did experience a bit of grief getting into the ground, but I wasn't tear-gassed, I wasn't battened. Walked out the ground with you after and went through that, just the moodiest underpass ever as you're leaving the stadium there, and all those memories are etched in your mind, really. And you mentioned about feeling like you probably couldn't go to another European final after it. I was thinking about the first game of the season at Anfield and being like, I don't even really want to go to that. And luckily I'd sort of I'd come round by the time that the summer had ended there. But that was the sort of that was the level of, I don't know if trauma sounds extreme for it, but it probably is really. It probably just is that sort of almost PTSD element of it being etched in your mind. So you do just hope for everyone who's going out there that this time around that things are safer, and it was obviously a combination of for me anyway, and I think most people would agree really, it was a combination of French authorities and UEFA who made an absolute hash of that last one. It's going to be a different stadium this time round, which we hope helps. It's not going to be in Saint-Denis, it's going to be in Paris, so you hope that means that there's a bit better organisation around that. It's obviously a stadium which is used to holding big events because PSG have got far in Champions Leagues before, but I'm really hoping for everyone out there that it is a more pleasurable experience, that UEFA have pulled their finger out since all the findings of the independent reports and things like that came out, and even to be honest, like, I'm making sure that this one goes well for Liverpool fans. Like, everyone should be bending over backwards really to make sure this one goes well for Liverpool fans, because you saw when it went badly last time how quickly the story got out, because of how ready Liverpool fans are for these moments to make sure that those stories are told. So if there's anything going wrong this time, it will be the same thing, and we'll be asking far bigger questions this time, because a lot of people, me and you included, were very lucky to escape with no damage to ourselves on the day, at least in a physical sense. So really hoping that it all does go smoother this time, that the organisation is better, and that we ultimately don't have to experience that at any football ground again, never mind in that city.